everyone, this is Sav, and welcome to my basement. This is my first ever YouTube video documentary, and we're going to talk about anything and everything under the sun as long as I'm interested in it. And I hope you are too, because I like having conversations. So if you have something to say, you can write it in the comments. And so, because I'm such a big NBA fan and I'm really into this BLM stuff, we're going to talk about LeBron James and that recent vote or die t-shirt that he had on practice. I think that was in practice. He had a black t-shirt on. It had vote or die on it in Laker purple and gold. And so, everybody knows that during this whole BLM thing, LeBron James has been on that train. And in fact, in the NBA, he's the one driving it, because apparently a lot of the NBA insiders and a lot of commentators on YouTube saying that LeBron James is on the phone on the daily with Adam Silver, and with all this BLM stuff, you put it on the court, you put equality on the t-shirts, and they've been saying that a lot of the owners, NBA team owners, were hesitant to, really push forward a lot of this stuff, because they know that a lot of the viewers, they just want to watch basketball, and they don't really want to be bothered by all this political stuff while watching sports. But LeBron James is such a huge cash cow, and I think he has a lot to say with what goes on in the NBA. So there's that. And in one of the interviews, actually, he said, I don't know which shooting incident he was referring to, but he said that we don't know if that cop woke up in the wrong side of bed, or he had an altercation. He had a moment with his kids where he didn't like it and he just went to work, or that cop just woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to end one of these black people's lives. Like, what the hell? How can you just assume something like that and not expect to fuel the unrest that's going on in America right now? It's just a reckless thing to say. Like, there's a reason why statements like that are not admissible in court, because it's presumption. You don't have evidence of that. And we're not talking about mere opinions about stuff. We're talking about opinions that could possibly fuel the shootings, the lootings, and all of the unrest that's going on the streets. LeBron doesn't realize how powerful he is, because he's saying all these reckless stuff as if he's just talking to a friend, and he's giving him his 2 cents about the issue. LeBron James is a worldwide superstar, and he has a huge platform, and I don't think he's mature enough to use that platform. He's actually trying, if he feels like there's some racism going on against his people, I can understand that. But it's just something else if you do not use that platform wisely, because America is so divided right now. A lot of people, and probably 60 to 75% of the people, do not believe that there's racism. When all of this started with George Floyd, that cop, I think it was a consensus with everyone, whether you're pro BLM or not, it was a consensus with everyone that cop was reckless and he should be tried for murder. This whole thing just got out of hand, and this was politicized. And every other shooting incident after that is attributed to racism. And you got Jacob Blake, I think, that guy who was who tried to steal his baby mama's car and put the kids in it. And his baby mama, or his girlfriend, I don't know how, and his girlfriend called the police on him. Now, when the police was called, these people already knew that he had 3 priors. There's a warrant out on him. You think those police are just gonna approach him like this was just some normal scuffle between wife and husband? This person is violent. He had 3 priors before this. Jacob Blake, and he was reaching into that car as if the police don't have their guns on him. And still, when he was shot, it was still attributed to racism. It's just crazy. And so, you got LeBron wearing that shirt vote or die, doesn't he know that it's somebody's right or privilege, whatever it is, not to vote? It's also a manner of opinion. If you don't like the system, if you don't like the people running for president or running for office, you get to not vote. And it's a democratic thing. It's part of the democratic process. Like, I just don't get these BLM people, and because it's really hard to differentiate now. You got BLM, Antifa, and the DNC. It's like sometimes you get them all cooped up together because I feel like they're one and the same thing. Because whatever the politics behind them, whatever they believe, there's one thing in common with these groups, the DNC, Antifa, and BLM. There's one thing in common: they are not tolerant. And so you got LeBron James saying vote or die. Like, it's your right not to vote. If you don't like whoever it is that's running, it's your right not to vote. Isn't that like everything that they call the pro-Trump supporters fascists? And you got these people killing and trying to even people who are just out on the restaurant eating, and if they don't raise their fists up like this in support of the BLM, you're gonna be accosted. And so I just think that aside from LeBron James, you got Kenny the Jet Smith walking off the set, and because of the inequality that's going on in the country right now. But when Mr. Harris of the Clippers called Mr. Luca, because I don't know how to pronounce Mr. Harris's first name and Luca's first name, Luca from Dallas Mavericks, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna just call him like that. When Mr. Harris called Luca be a white boy, Kenny the Jet Smith called it a slippery slope, while Chuck said that it was double standard. And Kenny the Jet Smith, he be feeling his way too much on these political episodes. Like, he really has to go first. But it's just, he actually said this, that it was not, it was racist, but it was not racism. I actually think that what he meant was maybe it was a racial slur, but there was no racism to it. And all I thought was that, he's having a hard time making excuses for Mr. Harris. He just really wants to excuse it, because we all know that had Luca done it, had Luca said the N-word first, or something of a racial slur, Kenny the Jet Smith would have walked off that set again. And so that's why I really think that when he said that, there's no racism to it when Mr. Harris said it, because there's no power to it. He has no power. He didn't stop Luca from doing something about it. And so let me ask you, Mr. Kenny, what if Luca had said the N-word in response? What would you have said? Let's just even it out because a black dude said it first? That's double standard, and that's power right there. When Kenny said there's no power, he was wrong. There's power right there, because the double standard is such a powerful thing. One party gets away with it, while the other party, if he had done it, he wouldn't got away with it scathe-free. Luca would have even lost his career. And that's just the truth. And Chuck said it best. There's just a lot of double standard in that country right now. And so, I just love the NBA, and I don't particularly agree with what they say. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but I really feel like they're shoving at the throats of their viewers. LBJ, Kenny the Jet Smith, these people are millionaires. Talking about they're being oppressed and whatnot. They get to boycott the games. They get to boycott the show. Kenny gets to walk off the set. The day after that, he still had a show to come to. Ordinary people, when they want to protest at work, their bosses are not going to care. You're losing me money. You've got to go. You've got to take care of this personal stuff when you're not at work. But LeBron James, he gets to boycott a game. Kenny Jet Smith, he gets to walk off the set, and the day after that, they still had jobs. And they still had their jobs as a platform to talk about their grievances. So what are they talking about being oppressed? What are they talking about that they don't have enough black voices? They're they're literally doing it. And so, this is not me saying that they don't have opinions, that they don't have the rights to feel a certain way. They do have the right to feel a certain way. I just hope they realize that not everyone agrees with them. And if not everyone agrees with them, they just don't get to boycott a game or walk off the show. And if people stop watching them, they're gonna say, you're probably racist and all that. No, it's just a consequence to what you're doing. So I hope they realize they have a really big platform, and they're not handling it the mature way. They're not discussing it in a way that's productive, and they're alienating people by doing all that stuff. And so, I'm not gonna go on any further. That's just my 2 cents about this whole NBA being so woke. It's so divisive. It really is. And so, if you have anything you want to add, if you have anything you don't like with what I said, you can just comment. You're free to leave a comment. Bye. This is